Hey y'all, today we've got 5 yummy summer drinks. So this week, y'all, I'm having technical difficulties, but I wanted to make sure that y'all had some fun content, and I thought these 5 drinks would be perfect. It is so hot outside, so I hope that y'all enjoy. Hey y'all, today I have 2 more yummy summertime drinks for y'all. We are going to be making first Icees. Now, if you're an Icee gal like I am, I do love me a good Icee, but I don't always like going to the gas station to get it. And half the time, the gas station by my house, the Icee machine doesn't work anyway, so I had to figure out how to make them at home, y'all. So what you're going to need is 1.5 cups of cold water, about 1/2 cup of sugar, and don't let that, like, God, that's a lot of sugar. This makes a huge amount, so, you know. Then you're going to need 1 packet of Kool-Aid, whatever kind you like, whatever flavor you like. Now, personally, I'm kind of a mixed, like, cherry and Coke kind of gal if I buy it at the gas station. So at some point, I may try Coke in this at home and see how that turns out. I bet it'll be delicious. But I had tropical punch, so that's what I'm using today. So then we're going to add in about 6 cups of crushed ice. Now this is just ice out of like a bag you buy at the gas station or whatever, because I had some and I didn't want to use my crushed ice out of my freezer because it would have used up the majority of my ice. So this works perfect. So what you're going to do is just pop the top on this blender and you're going to blend it right on up. Now y'all don't talk about my little cheap blender, because until a couple months ago I didn't even realize I had a blender. So I'm going to ride this one till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving on from that. So we're going to go ahead and just let that blend up. And you can see here as I'm stirring how thick and yummy that got. So since the mouth of my cup is narrow, I did not want to risk trying to pour this over in there and ended up with it all over my counter. So I just kind of scooped it, you know, by little spoonfuls right into my cup so I could make it fancy for y'all. But look at this, y'all. Look how good this looks. Okay, so y'all tell me down in the comments, what is your favorite Icee flavor? I need to know. Maybe y'all have one that I hadn't tried yet. But now the possibilities are endless, because whatever you can find Kool-Aid, you can make it. All right, so the next one we're going to make today is Disney's I was almost going to say Cool Whip. Dole Whip, y'all. Dole Whip. So what you're going to need is a blender cup. And you're going to need some pineapple juice. You need about 4 ounces. These little cans are, I think, 6 ounces, but my blender cup has measurements on it, so I just measured it, you know, up to the 4 ounce mark. Then we're going to add in 2 big scoopfuls, just, you know, ice cream scoopfuls of vanilla ice cream, just plain old vanilla ice cream, whatever kind of flavor, whatever brand you have will work just fine. Then you're going to need some frozen pineapple chunks. Now, I didn't have any frozen pineapple chunks, but I had some canned pineapple. So what I did was I drained the juice off of it, just drained all the juice real good, and then I froze it in a Ziploc bag clearly. So what you're going to need now is about 1.5 cups or so of the frozen pineapple chunks. I just kind of put a couple of handfuls over in there, you know. Whatever, I wasn't, you know how I don't like to measure. Y'all know I don't like to measure if I can help it. So then you're going to add in 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, this is not low fat, y'all. Just keep that in mind. Now, the Icee, you can make that sugar-free if you want to. You really could this, too, because you could put some Swerve in it and use, like, a sugar-free ice cream. But anyway, 2 tablespoons of sugar and a pinch of salt. We're going to put the lid on our blender cup, and then we're going to blend this right on up. And you're just going to blend it until it's nice and smooth and all your, pineapple chunks are good and blended in there. And I'm going to have to bang this on the top. Yep, just a little bit. I was trying to get my pineapple to fall down to the bottom, but it ended up, once it started blending, it fell down there anyway, y'all. So, like I said, you're just going to blend this up real good until all of your pineapple chunks are nice and blended in and everything is good and smooth. Just blend it on up, y'all. Blender cup, use a big blender if you don't have a little blender cup. Whatever you need will be fine. So, look at this, y'all. How delicious does this look? If you like pineapple, you're going to love this. You have to give it a try. But let me know, have you been to Disney World? Do you like the Dole Whip? Let me know. Hey y'all, today we are making Copycat Wendy's Frosties, plus a couple of other flavors. Throw it in there. just to mix it up a little bit. So what you're going to need is a blender cup. And then for this one, now I'm going to use different things in the other two. So I'm going to tell you what I'm using as I use it. So in this one, I'm going to use a cup of almond milk. Then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of sugar-free chocolate jello pudding mix. Now, you do not have to use almond milk. You do not have to use sugar-free. That's just what I'm using in this one. In the other ones that we make, we're not going to use sugar-free and we're not going to use almond milk and all that good stuff. So we're going to change it up just a little bit because I wanted to show y'all that you can make this for whoever's eating it, whatever their needs are. So then we're going to add, just to make it a little extra chocolatey, a teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. Then we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of, in this case, like I said, I'm using the Swerve. So the sugar substitute, whatever, you can use monk fruit, whatever kind you want. You can use regular sugar if that's what you prefer. Then we're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of Cool Whip. Now, this doesn't have to be exact. I literally just got a tablespoon out and just kind of, put a few little dollops over in there. Then you're going to add in about 10 to 12 ice cubes. Now, just if you're not sure, err on the low side because you don't want it so thick it doesn't mix. But you can always go back if you mix it and it's a little thin, add a couple more ice cubes to it, and it'll thicken it right on up. Now, this particular recipe, this Frosty recipe, I did Weight Watchers years ago, and this was one of the recipes that was on there. And it is so good, y'all. It is so, so good. Even with the almond milk, the sugar substitutes, all that kind of stuff, it is fantastic. But when I would make it for my son, I would use like the regular pudding mix and regular sugar and stuff like that. And regular milk. So you can do it however. But look at that, y'all. She thick. She thick, just like an old Wendy's Frosty. It is delicious, I'm telling y'all. This is a good one. All right, so the next flavor we're going to make is vanilla because I like to give y'all some variety when I can. So for this one, I used a cup of almond milk. And then I used 2 tablespoons of French vanilla pudding mix. This is not sugar-free. It's just the regular French vanilla. You can use whatever vanilla flavor, which, it doesn't have to be French vanilla is what I'm trying to say. But you could also, y'all, you can do pistachio pudding mix if you wanted a pistachio shake. You can do, just for an example, you can do any flavor that you want. That's what's so good about this. So I added in a tablespoon of sugar. We're adding a teaspoon of vanilla, and then we're going to add in our 2 little dollops of Cool Whip, and then we're going to blend this up. And that is our vanilla shake, okay? And this is the perfect thing because if you have an issue with lactose, you can't drink milk, or you can't do ice cream, you can still have a yummy shake, and I'm telling you, it's yummy. You can't even tell the difference whether you use real milk or almond milk. I'm telling you. But this is the perfect thing. Okay, so for our last one, we're going to make a strawberry shake. So I took 1 cup of regular milk. I think it's 2%. We're going to take 2 tablespoons of that vanilla pudding mix that we had. Then we're going to add in our 1 tablespoon of sugar. We're going to add in our 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to add in our Cool Whip, of course. This just makes it a little extra creamy. Then for this one, because it's strawberry, we're going to go ahead and add in, I had some of that Nesquik, the strawberry that goes in your milk, because one of my grandsons loves strawberry milk. So I had that on hand, so I went ahead and dumped that over in there. And I did have to go back. I added probably a tablespoon or so, and it didn't look quite strawberry enough for me, so I did go back and add just a little bit more. But you can add it to your taste, whatever your preference is. But then we just blend it up, and look at this, y'all. We have a strawberry shake, we have a vanilla shake, and we have a chocolate shake. Something to fit everybody's taste. So I hope that y'all are going to try at least 1 or 2 of these yummy drinks so y'all can stay nice and cool this summer. All right, that is all that I have for y'all today, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.